guys? Cody Knott back again with another week of NASRA 360. This week we're covering Darlington. With me, I have the top three and all people that returned that weren't here last week or several weeks. I have your winner, Ted Wade, putting it in a clean sweep, stage 1, stage 2, and race. I got your second place finisher, Stephen Thomas, who just died in Tarkov because of this interview. And I have third place, your man, the myth, the legend, owner of NASRA, Brady, who for some odd reason just took his camera off.
It's because of that stupid sign he had that kicked him.
Probably. All right, Brady, can you hear me?
Yeah, see what happens?
Okay, we'll give him a second. I'm going to start with Ted Wade then. We're going to roll through. All right, so Ted, let's go ahead and start with you. Talk about coming into the race and how you felt after Talladega.
Oh man, I didn't know how to feel after Talladega. That was awful. We didn't have a very good race there at all. But once we got into hot laps, everybody was pretty quick. Everybody's put down pretty similar lap times. Just one of them deals where you had to get out front and just hold the position.
Very true, very true. Steven, roll straight into you. How are you feeling coming into Darlington after Talladega, man?
Man, I was not excited for Darlington, to be completely honest with you. But I found something midway through, honestly, watching Ted and a couple of the guys that was running ahead of me, just kind of watching their lines as they enter in. And then I found something. If you enter those turns correctly, man, you can rock it out of them a whole lot better. So I figured that about halfway through the race, and everything just changed for me.
Cool. Brady, roll straight into you. Hold your little sign up so everyone can see. Tell me how you're feeling coming into Darlington after Talladega.
Yeah, we can't read your
No,
scratch.
I felt really good about it. Always feel good about the 1.3 miles or a mile and a half. I tend to run the best there. So I practice a lot. I ran the practice race on Tuesday with Ted, and he kind of helped me out a little bit. I kind of watched what some of the fast guys do on Tuesday night. So I felt good about it going into Friday night.
Cool. Ted, roll straight back into you. I'm minimizing you now, Brady. You can put your sign down. Tell me what you were feeling after stage 1.
We had a couple yellows there, so I really didn't know how I was going to do in the long run. I know I think Brady started running me down there towards the end, and I think it was Steven, one of the two there. I was trying to just run my own race and try not to burn up the tires, but I didn't feel like I was going to be as good on the long run as what I thought I was going to be.
Yeah, I apologize for one of those cautions. I took my teammate on a lap 10. It's okay. He got to sit there for 46 minutes.
Is that the one he rolled down the backstretch about 20 times?
Yeah. There was something with a ghost wall or something. It just made him flip. All right, Steven, roll straight on to you. Tell me how you're feeling after stage 1, man.
After stage 1, not bad. Like I said, it took me about midway through stage 2 and maybe at the end of stage 2 before I felt like I was fast. I think after stage 1, I was kind of thinking top 5 for myself, man, to be honest with you. And then, like I said, I found something midway through and I was thinking more of a win. But yeah, I think after stage 1 is more of a top 5 for me.
Cool. Brady, with your sign again. Tell me how you're feeling after stage 1, man.
I was feeling really good because I was running down Ted. I felt like I was somewhat better than Ted towards the end of the stage 1, and but I know how Steven is. He's very conservative. He likes to save tires in the beginning of the run. So he was pretty much the wild card in all the factor because I felt like I was going to run top 2. I felt like Ted was the biggest competition after stage 1, but I knew Steven was going to save something for the end. So he was the wild card, but I felt good where I was at.
Very true. Ted, roll straight back onto you, man. Tell me how you're feeling after stage 2. Clean sweep in stage 1 and 2.
I felt pretty good going there into the final stage. Yeah, I kind of gambled a little bit. I was going to gamble with tires, and I didn't. I ended up just taking all my tires. I kind of learned my lesson after Homestead. But yeah, I knew at the end of it, I was going to have to deal with Stephen Thomas and Brady.
All right, Steven, roll straight onto you. Tell me how you're feeling after stage 2.
Yeah, like I said, man, I found something about that point, and I was thinking when at that. I was wanting long runs. I knew that that's what I had. I didn't have Ted or even Brady, and I think there was one other. I can't remember. There was somebody in short runs I just didn't have anything for, but I knew if I had a long run, then I definitely had a chance. So that green flag stop, I hit perfect. I'm a little ahead of myself on this, but that green flag stop, I hit perfect. And as long as I got a long run at the end of the race, I thought I had a chance for this. So yeah, stage two, I had a lot more confidence than after stage one.
Brady, are you loading back on? Tell me how you're feeling after stage one. Or stage two, I mean. Just got pixelations right now. All right, we'll wait for him. Steven, going to go back to you. So tell me what you were most worried about while racing at Darlington.
Um, to be honest, Joey was one of the ones that had a short run for me. That's what it was, and that's what I was worried about the most, man. It's hard to pass at Darlington, and Joey doesn't like to give any spots away. Okay, so I was worried about getting into it with my teammate, just trying to get around to him. So I stayed behind him for a while and kind of lost a lot of track position, but I was just worried about cautions, getting into somebody, passing somebody, and taking them out. Man, luckily Brady was very respectful at the end of the race when he noticed I was faster than him and let me by. That's the only thing I was worried about. Caution, getting cautions because I wanted my long run and being in one. Man, that's pretty much all I'm ever worried about in the race.
Very true. Brady, now that I got your face back, so go ahead and tell me how you're feeling after stage two and what were you most worried about while racing at Darlington.
If you take that sign down, your shit would work. Or I'm sorry, your stuff would work.
There you go.
No, stage two, I was kind of anxious to see what I would do, because I want to say I restarted second, and restarts on the outside lane were just tough. I mean, you'd get into the gas easily, or you would try to, kind of finesse it, I would say. And whether or not you would finesse it or stomp it, you just couldn't get rolling on the outside lane. And I felt like I was stuck there for a couple of times, and I probably should have let Joey just pass me on pit road instead of so I can be on the inside lane. But I want to say that I did end up getting in front of Joey, but then I was, letting guys. I knew guys were going to push it hard, so I was going to let them go by. I let Steven go by, even though I kind of didn't communicate with him on it. But I let him by just kind of run some laps, and I knew that I was in a great spot, and I want to save my equipment for the final stage anyway. So I was just kind of like riding along there for a little while, but I want to say I ended up running Joey back down, and I finished third in the second stage behind Steven and Ted. So I knew that they were going to come alive, and that was going to be my biggest competition going into the final stage.
All right, Ted, rolling back straight into you, man. Tell me what you were most worried about while racing at Darlington, even though it didn't really seem like you were worried about anything.
All the long runs, man. Man, I don't know. We got started on that run, and I felt like I was doing pretty good, and I think I got too far out there and was pushing too hard. And then Steven ran me down, and I saw him like 3 or 4 tenths back, and I'm like, shit. And then he turns around, he gets within a few car lengths of me, and I don't know if he must have screwed up. Something happened. He ended up like a second and a half back. So I'm like, all right, some breathing room, and it was right around pit stop time, and I knew I had to pit within a few laps before he closed that gap back in and ate up into more time.
Yeah, so Steven, let's go straight into you. So with 5 laps to go, you were basically closing on him, but you ended up hitting the wall, losing all that momentum, and falling back like almost 2 seconds, man. What was going on through your head at that moment?
I was cussing. I know that much. I was cussing, but I did that quite a bit this race. I swear, once I started really putting some time on Ted, before the green stop, like he said, I got into it in 1 and 2, lost a bunch of track time, and I noticed he did pit before I could get back on his bumper. And then I did it. I did it with Brady a couple times. He let me by, hit the wall. He got back by me. I got by him. I hit the wall again. Lost. I think I was down 4 seconds on Ted in a very crucial moment. So yeah, I did that quite a few times, man. So I was cussing quite a bit, sweating, mad. But I mean, second place. I can't be too mad about it.
Oh yeah, man, you were 4 laps to the end of the race, and you were right on his bumper, and you hit the wall.
Exactly, and I did that. I mean, I think I did it with 8 laps to go. I think I did it with 12 laps to go. I had him. The problem was I had him. I feel like I had him really bad on 1 and 2. He was struggling in 1 and 2, and I found something in 1 and 2. And because I had him so bad, I was pushing just a little bit harder, and you just touch that wall, especially in 1 and 2, and it drags you so far back, man. So that's what I kept doing every like 5 laps. It seemed like.
All right, I was gonna roll straight into Brady, but I don't see his face yet, so I'm gonna give him time to render. So Steven, are you gonna race next week at the All-Star race? And what's your plan to attack this dirt track?
Yeah, I plan on it. Definitely plan on it. Not unless something crazy comes up, I'll be there. But I can't remember. I keep saying I was with Keith on Eldor. I can't remember if it was Eldor or if it was Bristol, but me and him had a heck of a race.
I think that was. I
At
want to
one.
say that was Bristol. Keith wasn't there
Okay.
last time we raced at Eldora. That was the year I qualified on pole.
So that's what it was. I realized after the interview Friday night that I messed that up, but I was right on Keith's bumper and having a great time with him at last dirt race that I remember, and we got into it with some lap traffic. So I feel like if I can keep up with Mr. Dirt Racer Keith Bradley, then we should have a good time. Plus, it's All Star, so you can relax, not worried about points, and just have a good time.
I mean, hey, there's always playoff points available for the race.
That's true. That is true.
All right, so Brady, while I got your face again, so are you racing in the All-Star race, and what's your approach to the dirt track?
Yeah, I'll be there. And as far as an approach, I'm just going out there to have fun. I'm using it as kind of like an off week, just to kind of. I'm not a dirt guy at all. I don't pretend to be a dirt guy. I really don't even care to race on dirt. But I know it's fun for some of the guys in the league, so that's why we do it. And to be honest with you, it really wouldn't bother me if I make the A feature or not. There's going to be heat races, a B main, and A features, and we're only taking 18 to 22 guys at most for the A feature. So there's going to be some people that paid entry and go home. But I'm just out there to have fun. I'm not even going to spend a bunch of time practicing. My focus is on the following week of Indy. So I'll be practicing Indy all week long.
Cool. Ted, let's roll straight into you, man. So you're racing next week, and what's your approach to the dirt track? Are you going to try to copy what Keith's doing if he's there?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got to find the fastest dirt guy there and just try to follow them around, see what they're doing different, man. I do a little bit of dirt racing here and there, but I'm not committed to it like some of these guys might be. Just go out and try to have some fun and see what we can do.
Yeah, that's my goal, is to stay around Keith. I qualified pole last time, but just I want to ensure that I finish the race this time because I didn't finish it last time. I got wrecked out.
One thing for sure I know at Eldor is you got to stay against the wall or you're going to be slow.
Got to stay on that cushion. All right. So, Brady, let's roll straight back onto you, man. Let's go ahead and close this out. Go ahead and give a shout out to people that make this happen for you, man.
Yeah. So obviously, my wife and my kids that we live this crazy schedule, and I still get to race on Friday nights with you guys. So thank you to them. It kind of helps out. My wife's going for MBA right now, and she's only got 30 weeks left. So so thank you to them. Thank you to my sponsor, NRE Power Systems. Everything they do for me. Warrior Wraps for giving me some awesome ass paint schemes, especially this season. This is by far my favorite paint scheme since I've been on iRacing that I'm racing this season. And all our sponsors. You can't say NASRA without saying Brady LaBeouf and Michael McKinnon. I mean, he's the one that came to me in the beginning and said, "Hey, this is an idea. Him and his son Austin, we want you to be a part of it. What do you think?" And we made an agreement, that whenever he got burnt out and tired, that I would take over and relieve him, and vice versa. So we're just trying to keep this thing going on and building it. And to Michael, Triple M Pulling, his trucking company, he gives out $250 to $400 a year to be the title sponsor. And there's a lot of other sponsors, Butt Kicker. They give away butt kickers at the end of each season. We give those away to a guy who wins the championship, 5th place, 17th. And Store-Based Comics for coming on board, Rookie of the Year. That's pretty big for those guys, and yeah. So everybody that helps us put this together, Pulse Poppers, our pole sponsor, Blanchard's Towing comes on and gives away some hard chargers. Hoopty's Garage, they sponsored our playoffs, so we have the Hoopty's Garage Showdown, which is going to be our playoff name. So just everybody that helps us, make this bigger and bigger each week, and of course the podcast that's new, and it's becoming bigger and bigger. I know the guys enjoy it, NASRA 360. So we appreciate you for taking the ball and running with it on this, and all the board guys. Steven's on the board, you're on the board, Jose, Jeff Sickles, Michael, everybody. I don't think guys realize how much it takes. We race, one night a week. That's like the core group of NASRA, and I'm not going to say everybody assumes that, hey, we just show up, we practice, we qualify, and we race. There's a lot of things that happen, those other 6 days and nights that go into it, that make it as professional as it has become, and as big as the series is, averaging 34 guys every week. I mean, you can't put a price on it. I know the guys enjoy it. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing everything, to make it the best it can be. So yeah, just thank you to everybody that keeps showing up, and thank you.
Awesome. That's a huge, lengthy shout out. All right, Steven, let's roll straight into you, bud. Give a huge shout out to people that make this happen for you, man.
I mean, I can't do any better than that, bud. Who am I supposed to thank? I'd like to, like he mentioned, man. I think my family, like the old lady and the kids. I have not missed a race in a Friday night since season one, if I'm not mistaken. So I have gave up a lot of Friday nights and a lot of things to go do with them from 9 to 11. So I want to thank them for letting me do that. And I've got a few fans out there as far as family that watches the race every Friday. So I want to thank them for watching. I want to thank you for not shaving that beard. That thing looking pretty. You should implement that on your truck somehow. That'd be a good look for you. I want to thank the sponsors, man. Of course, NASRA and Brady for everything he does. Triple M Pulling and Michael McKinnon, Butt Kicker, NASRA 360, Paul's Poppers, Starbase Comics. And thank all the guys for showing up and putting on a good show here Friday night, man. This thing is only going to grow and grow from here. So I appreciate it, guys.
True. Ted, let's roll straight into you as the winner. Let's finish off with a bang. Give a huge shout out.
Yeah, man. So like, thank everybody at Over the Top Designs, John Hedrick, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling for jumping on board with us this year. It's been an adventure with that, the actual sponsor. I haven't had that yet in here. Thank of Bruzy Racewear, everybody over at NASRA, Brady, Mike McKinnon, definitely. Those guys, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be rolling around here like this. Starbase Comics, that's a new one for us all here. Your Pulse Pauper Award. Like, just give everybody a big thanks, and my teammates at Upfront Motorsports.
Awesome. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for coming out and sitting with me through this time and throwing up some jokes and stuff here and there. All right, everybody, stay tuned for the team portion that we got coming up next right after this segment. Appreciate you all for coming out. Stay tuned.
Thanks, guys.
All right, what's up, guys? Cody Knott back again. This is the team portion of our segment. The drivers is just before this. So with me, I have North Central Racing Club, NCRC is what they like to call themselves. I like to call it the NARC, even though it doesn't have the acronym of that. It's just funny. So with me, I have Jose Luis Rivera. Then I have Dana Shepard and the man that is sick himself, Jacob Cleancart. And then, unfortunately, Tyler Dittmer, their last member, is stuck at work, so he could not make this. So I'm going to go ahead and roll straight into questions. Let's start with Jacob, since you don't really have a photo. So this is going to be the team question. So NCRC, what was your thought process when changing your guys' name this past year to NCRC?
So we changed our name mainly because of our main sponsor, Depp. He wanted to name it, and then on top of that, we were originally started by Michael McKinnon as a group, like at Mission One, like help operational thing, and then he separated from us, so then we wanted to make our own name and do our own thing.
Awesome. All right. So Dana, I'm going to roll straight onto you. All right, so how does it feel to be a part of this team, man?
This is one of probably the best teams I'm on with all the leagues I run. So these guys get along great with me. We really can bounce ideas off each other, and obviously with the adding of Tyler this year, it's even improved us even better. So I really enjoy it.
For sure. Jose, roll straight into you. How do you feel about this team?
Oh, I love this team. Every race, in between the sessions and everything, we bounce ideas. We talk to each other about, what we're gonna do for the upcoming race and for the super speedways. We usually get a bunch of practice laps here before the sessions, and it's just a good group. And we have Tyler now. We have our painter Depp. It's good place to be.
Awesome. All right, Jacob, roll back into you. This is a team captain question. So what is the plans for your team this season now that being halfway through the regular season?
Right now, it's just mainly get Dane up in the points a little bit higher. I know he's kind of been behind. But other than that, just stabilize where we're at because I know Tyler's got to win. I'm right there on ninth, and I think Jose's pretty quickly behind me. So just kind of stabilize where we're at. Maybe try to sneak in some wins and hope for the best for the playoffs.
Was that 13th, Jose?
Yes, running 13th right now.
That was awesome because you did it the way the camera is facing you. All right, so Dana, roll straight into you. So you guys have plans on running any other series within the NASRA?
I am not. I've changed my plans after the first race of the year, so I've basically spread myself out over four different leagues right now, and I'm trying to get more diverse in the cars I'm driving. So I just today signed up for the 400, but that's about my extent within NASRA what I'm doing.
Okay, cool. Jose, let's roll straight into you. I saw you sign up for a few other things. What's going on with you?
Well, I ran the ARCA last season. That was fun. I didn't finish, but I started there. For upcoming, I plan on running the next gen series, and about to sign up for the 400 sometime this week. See how that goes. Should be fun.
Awesome. Jacob, do you have any plans on running any other series, man?
I'm doing the NASRA 400, but other than that, I'll probably just be part-time within NASRA. I've got such a busy lifestyle outside of sim racing that it's kind of hard to do all the extra leagues and all the extra series.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and roll straight into the portion that I ask the actual drivers on the top three portion. I'm going to try to keep your chatting to a minimum, Jacob. I know you told me your voice hurts, so let's go ahead and roll straight into Jose. So talk about coming into Darlington and how you felt after Talladega.
This season has gone completely reverse of what I expected it to go. Tracks that I expected to do terribly at, I've done pretty well. Tracks that I expected to do well at, I've been knocked out early. It's been a weird season. I say I'm running better than I've ran in recent seasons. I'm trying to stay out of people's way. I'm trying not to make anyone upset on the track. Some things carry over from season 4, but okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep the momentum I'm on. I didn't expect the top 10 at Darlington at all. And I've had some pretty good runs here the last couple weeks, is either for one reason or another, whether it be technical issues, on-track issues, fuel mileage, getting wrecked. For some reason, it doesn't come together. But I don't feel too bad about my season. I'm 13th in points right now. Okay.
Cool. So Dana, tell me how you were feeling coming into Darlington after Talladega.
So I've had a rough season, to say the least. So Talladega didn't go well at all. I was actually leading the stage there with Tyler pushing me, and the plan was to just get the stage win and roll into the next session and maybe lay back. I think as everybody watched, that plan did not happen at all. So I got wrecked pretty early. So I thought I'd go into Darlington and just be patient and sort of stay out of trouble and try to finish a race. My season is completely upside down from last year. So Darlington didn't go well either. I ended up getting caught up in an issue with, during the race there, and they sort of fell apart again. So I'm in that part of the season now where I'm just sort of frustrated and really just want to turn laps.
Yeah, all right. So Jacob, let's roll straight into you. I'm going to ask you this question, make it short and sweet, so you don't have to talk really about much on the stages, so you could save your voice. So tell me how you're feeling about coming into Darlington, and I know that the wreck between you and Dana was an accident.
Yeah, after Dega, I felt pretty confident. Went into Darlington, not feeling so confident, but figured I'd just try my best. And I caught my teammate completely in an accident. My fault. I don't even know what I was doing. So it's whatever. Gonna go move on to Indy and bounce back from it.
Dana, how many stages did you make it?
Well, I made stage one. Through Darlington, I only made stage two. I believe it was right after the start of stage two that it happened. I was up to 12th, which is all I was trying to do. I really didn't care about stage points, so I think I made it stage two. Went in, I sat through all the repairs. Uh, Thought I could make up a few spots if I came back out, and I gleaned maybe 4 just by coming back out. So, I turned quite a few laps. So the truck was still good after all the repairs.
I wrecked my teammate in 10 laps.
It's a tough place. I mean, you can work with your teammates or you can try to work on your own, but there's always something that can happen there. It's just so tight.
Yeah, it's a very one-lane track, and you kind of got to throw it in there just to make any type of passes. So while I still have you, so let's go ahead and tell me about how you were feeling after stage one, besides what happened in stage two.
Well, stage one, I felt comfortable. Like I said, I was just sort of riding, not really pushing the truck at all. I tend to be good on tire wear, so I was hoping that I'd saved enough, and it felt like I was catching guys at the end of stage one. So my plan was to continue on and just keep that plan going. And then at the last stage, try to run a lot longer with the tires and just try to do a short pit at the end with a little bit less fuel.
Yeah. Jose, I know that you're not really paying attention.
No, wait a minute. I was looking for what lap the wreck was on. It looks like it was like around lap 50.
Oh, okay. Well, so go ahead while I have you. Tell me about how you felt after stage one and after stage two.
Oh, stage one, I was terrified. After I qualified 5th. I was feeling good when I qualified. By the end of stage one, I was running like 14th. I I fell back fast. But after stage two, I went from 19th after repairing damage and ended up in the top 10. So by the end of stage two, I was feeling like, yeah, this could be a good race. Ended up finishing 8th, so I mean, I can't complain. This is the first time I've ever finished in the top 10 at Darlington. This is my 3rd time racing Darlington. I debuted in Darlington with Jacob, by the way, in season 3, and it's just been terrible. So I'll take my top 10 and I'll get the hell out of there.
Oh yeah. So while I still have you on the screen, so are you racing in the All-Star race this next coming week? And what's your approach to the dirt track if you are?
I am gonna. I've taken a couple laps out there to test the waters. So far, I'm not feeling all too great about it. I'm gonna plan on getting some more laps maybe tomorrow and see how I'm feeling. I'm gonna aim to be there, but if I can't turn like 3 good laps in a row, I don't know if I should really be on the track.
If you want a nice reminder, the last time we raced at Eldora, I qualified on pole.
Oh, that's great. Was Keith Bradley there?
No, he was not.
That's why.
I still probably would have qualified second, but
Yeah, there you go.
Peacock was there. He ended up, I believe he was the one that qualified right behind me.
What season was that?
2 seasons ago when we ran it. So last year we ran the Bristol Dirt, and the season before that we did Eldora.
Okay.
All right, so Dana, do you plan on running the All-Star race? And if so, what's your approach to the dirt track?
Oh, I'll definitely run it. I mean, I plan to run the full season, so I won't try to miss any events. I've had some near misses. But other than road courses, which I'm really terrible at, I'm just really bad at, dirt's about the next worst, but I like dirt. It's fun to drive. I'm not the fastest guy out there, but I just like the way you have to drive the trucks. I love driving cars. I don't like these things that stick to the track and you hold your foot to the floor. So dirt's fun for me, even though I'm not the fastest guy.
Awesome. Jacob, are you racing in the All-Star race? And what is your approach going into the dirt track if you are?
I actually won't be. I'm gonna be prepping for the 400. I'm taking the night off to try to get some relaxing time and then prep for the 400.
Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and rotate back to Jose. We're going to be closing this out with the team portion of this, or with your guys' portion of the show in general. So go ahead and give a shout out to anyone that makes this happen for you and give a big thanks or whatever.
I mean, I want to thank Race Lab. They give me the opportunity to run their paints out there. And they actually make the racing a lot more convenient. So Race Lab, check them out. I want to thank Dana, Jacob, Tyler for being part of the team. Depp, iRacing Paints on Facebook, if you guys want to check him out, for making all the paint schemes that I've been running this season. NASRA, Brady, McKinnon for starting this whole thing. You for the 360, TJ for his assistance on all the race control, and everyone that helped bring this together.
Oh yeah, true for sure. Dana, rotate straight into you. Give a big shout out and a thanks to anybody that makes it happen for you.
Oh well, I definitely got to thank everybody at NASRA and Brady and Michael McKinnon, for getting us together as a team. And I got to give a shout out to George Williams. He's not a guy who runs on the league, but he's actually the guy that brought me here. He didn't stick around, but I did. And I had fun here. It's been rough this season, but definitely got to thank DEP for his paints. He helps me in a couple other leagues, and his paints are just. I don't know if you've seen my truck that he did last week before, but he makes some insane paints. Makes the trucks look really sharp. And now my wife here at the house, she puts up with me on the leagues almost every night of the week, and thought she'd be happy when I did more sim racing than real world racing, because I would be in the shop more. So she does put up with me being in the sim all night, and that's it. And the guys on the team, we really work together, and it makes it fun.
Awesome. Jacob, let's finish with you as the team captain. Give a huge shout out to anybody that makes this happen for you, man.
Shout out to the team, to Deb. We can't do it without them. I know Tyler's not here tonight, but he's a big addition this season. Definitely glad to have him. He's been teaching us all a lot, helping us get some speed. And then outside of the sim, my real life spotter that he helps me out when we're racing on the sim is a big help. And then other than that, just NASRA, the whole guy, everybody as a whole, and you for putting on the podcast.
For sure. All right, guys, appreciate you all for coming. So this is the closing. I hope you guys stay tuned for the All-Star race at Eldora. I would like to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, Over the Top Designs for covering some races, Brady over at NASRA, Michael McKinnon for starting it. Our new sponsor, 213simware.com. Please go ahead and check them out. You got Starbase Comics sponsoring the Rookie of the Year. Of course, my family with Pulse Poppers putting on the Pole Award for people. Other than that, thanks guys for coming out. Stay tuned for next week. Peace out.